All right, good afternoon. We're approaching the evening now. This is a further one additional video to the government and people of Adamawa State. We want to contribute our 10 cent to the good governance of our state. I did a 4 year intensive legislative internship in my early days in the career in service. You can see the certificate issued to Benjamin Cheset Dampulo for successful participation in the 4 year intensive legislative internship program in the following areas: principles of leadership, team building techniques, legislative research and drafting, principles of collective empowerment, the role of technology in enhancing legislative performance, and the 7 building blocks for effective legislative performance. This certificate was issued to me and few of my colleagues who participated in the program on the 24th day of February 2004, signed by Right Honorable Chibuike Roti Amechi. He was the chairman. At that time, he was the Speaker of Rivers State before he became Governor of Rivers State and then later Minister. Also signed by Keith Benson, MCID Nigeria Country Director. They implemented the program on behalf of USAID. So my house is by the roadside, heavy trucks moving. So let's take our lessons, the 7 building blocks for effective legislative performance. We want to have effective legislatures across our states and at the national level, but particularly for us, the people of Adamawa State. Now, the building block number 1 for effective legislative performance is democratic values. Here, we have the common good, that is individual responsibility for promoting a better society. So all of us must be involved. Then there's accountability, which is the social contract. Openness, transparency in decision making by legislators and people who occupy government positions. Then there is citizen participation. Here we have access to public officials. So our legislators must be accessible. They must be reachable. They should have public official phone numbers, email addresses, constituency offices like the Constitution provides. Then the citizens should have input in decision-making process. Building block number 2 is social capital formation. Here you have the stakeholders that surround the legislature. You have the local governments, you have citizens, you have academic and research institutions, and we have a lot of them in Adamawa State. You have the executive, you have advocacy organizations, you have other key stakeholders like NBA, NMA, and other professional associations surrounding the legislature. This is how a legislature can function at its optimum. Then we have building block number 3, knowledge generation. This is basically on the part of legislative staff. They do research, data collection, and then analysis, documentation, and archiving of this information collected from the constituencies. Building block number 4 is representation. This is largely on the part of the legislators. So we have established and ongoing systems of communication, citizen access, community meetings. There should be public hearings for laws, for bills that are being worked on to be passed into law. Building block number 5 is oversight. This is purely that of the legislators. They have budget review and approval, executive performance review, that is oversight over executive, actions, and then legislative review of governance systems. Building block number 6 is management systems, purely or at the legislative staff level. Effective committee systems. These committees at the House must be effective. There should be proper staffing of competent people to work with legislators. And then there should be information management systems, facilities and equipment. Like the governor of Adamawa State recently gave a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Jeeps to our legislators. This is good. And then computers and laptops and internet connectivity. Then there is a policy procedural guidance, blah, blah, blah. Building block number 7, lastly, is lawmaking. Here, legislators are expected to make high impact legislation and the legislation should have direct impact on citizens' livelihood areas like food, like water, like shelter, like jobs, like systems for tracking results. Okay, so like in Adamawa State, where we have a major river passing by our backyard, River Benue, there should be support for agriculture, dry season farming to produce food so that people will not be hungry, so that food will be cheaper and to the poor. There should be housing provision. There should be a strengthening of the educational system. There should be emphasis on science, on STEM. STEM is STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses and subjects from the primary school level to the secondary level to the tertiary, because it is science that drives innovation and all inventions that the developed countries of the world are thriving on. Japan, is it Japan that produces Toyota? How many Toyota vehicles, Hilux, Jeeps are bought